Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to be doing a book review on From Blood and Ash and a Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Alright, so let's hop right in. So I'm going to start with the characters. So the characters are Tawny, Victor, Poppy, Hawke, the Duke and the Duchess, and the King and Queen. And there's a bunch of other side characters that we meet in the book, but those are the most important characters that we are mentioned. So Poppy is a maiden, and she has a gift where she can feel others' feelings and ease someone's pain. She cannot show her face, she has to wear a veil the entire time. She can't leave her room unless she's instructed. She cannot be out in public unless she is instructed. And she can only show her face to the Duke and the Duchess and her personal guard on certain occasions. She is to be ascended on her 18th birthday, but we are not told what the ascension actually is. So I'm just going to jump right into the major key points that happen in this book. I will not be saying every single detail, but I'm going to give you guys a forewarning that this is a spoiler-filled reading review. So if you've not read From Blood and Ash or A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, please leave, read those two books, and then come back and watch this. So Rylan, which is Poppy's personal guard, takes Poppy on a walk in the garden, and there's a little crack in the wall where they kind of go through so that way they can be outside of the walls and just kind of look at the woods. Rylan gets shot by an arrow by we don't know who, because you kind of just don't see anything, you just kind of see Rylan dying. Poppy goes after the Dark One's helper because now she wants to get revenge on them killing Rylan. So when she goes after him, he tries to kidnap her and says that he's going to take her to the Dark One, and you're kind of sitting there like, who's the Dark One? So you kind of are wondering who that person is and why they want Poppy, but instead she stabs him and she makes a run for it and he leaves. So we are now introduced to Hawke, and in the beginning of the book we are introduced to Hawke. I didn't mention that. I don't know why I didn't mention that, but I'm mentioning it now. We meet Hawke at the Red Pearl, and Poppy and Hawke kiss at the Red Pearl. But she doesn't know if he knows who she is, because not a lot of people know who she actually is. So now Hawke is her new personal guard, so you can kind of see where that's going to go if they've kissed in the Red Pearl, and now he's her personal guard. So there is obviously a lot of chemistry between the two characters, and he does know that she's the girl from the Red Pearl. So Craven attack the kingdom, and Poppy hears all of the ruckus going on outside of the Craven attack, and she decides to sneak out of her room and go into the rise and shoot the Craven with an arrow because she is skilled in fighting in combat because of Victor. And Victor is her father figure. She lost both of her parents in a Craven attack when she was little. As she's shooting the arrows and the Craven are all dying, someone comes up onto the rise, and it is Hawke, and he learns that she can defend herself. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because she is forbidden to defend herself. It is forbidden for her to know how to shoot an arrow, hold any weapon on her. So the Duke calls her for a lesson, and the lesson is basically where he takes a cane and hits her on the back with it. Now, the reason why he gives her these lessons can be for any reason. A lot of them are stupid. And while this is all happening, there is the Lord, and the Lord is friends with the Duke. We don't know why he's so buddy-buddy with him. So the Lord holds Poppy's hands down so that way she can't move. Disgusting. Again, like I said, Poppy is to be ascended on her 18th birthday, and there's so many mentions of the ascension, but we're not told what the ascension is and what's going to happen to Poppy when she goes there. All we know is that she's to be ascended on her 18th birthday. So they host a rite, which is where chosen families give their children up to the gods, and we are also not told why they do this, but they feel honored to. I would not feel honored to give my child up, but okay. We are also not told where the children go when they give up their children, so we're not actually told, like, if they're actually getting them to the gods, or, you know what I mean? So as the rite is happening, the Duke is killed. The Duke is killed by his cane through his chest into the wall, so you can kind of see him, because he's like really up high, so that way everyone in the crowd can see the Duke who is dead. The kingdom gets attacked by the Dark One and all of his people. People are dying left and right. Glass is getting everywhere because they're coming through the windows, so a lot of people are getting stabbed and killed with the glass. A lot of other people are also getting killed by arrows because they're shooting arrows at everybody. Luckily, Poppy, Tawny, and Victor are running out in enough time, and they're safe, but not for long because they're all over the place. They are coming through every single window, all the doors, and there's a lot of them, and it's very overwhelming. As they're running to safety, they run into the Duchess and the Lord, and they all hide in a room, and in the room they have Tawny, Victor, Poppy, the Lord, and the Duchess, and then Hawke's trainer, and 2 of the guards that guard the kingdom. So as they're all sitting in there waiting for everyone to, get killed so that way they can escape. That sounded so dark. I'm so sorry. As they're sitting in the room, the Dark Winds people start banging on the door, and we're able to break into the door. And now they're in the room, and Poppy is left to defend herself with Victor and Hawke's trainer and the 2 guards. But the 2 guards get shot by an arrow and die, so it's only those 3 people left. And like I said again, it's forbidden for Poppy to know how to defend herself, let alone have a weapon on her. Once they're done fighting the people that come into the room, all of a sudden, I was not expecting this, and I'm gonna cry because it's so sad, Victor gets a sword thrown at him and he dies. While this all was happening, Hawke, which is Poppy's personal guard, was not there at all, and right as Victor gets a sword thrown at him, Hawke shows up. So, since Victor is now dead, the Lord makes a smart comment about Victor dying and Poppy not being able to save him, and she gets super angry and picks up a sword, cuts the Lord's hand off, his arm off, and then his head off. So, after all of these events, Poppy is now wanted at the Capitol for some odd reason. We assume it's her ascension because it is close to her 18th birthday, but she isn't 18 yet. Hawke takes her because, again, he's her personal guard with other people, but the people that show up, she's never seen or met before, so it's like I said, those people were not people that she knew. Hawke kidnaps Poppy and is deciding to do a little bit of an exchange with the Capitol. So the Capitol took his brother, and in exchange for his brother, he's going to give the Queen Poppy. He also tells her everything that she needs to know about her people that she thought were mortals. So the people in her town are ascended, and the ascension is where they turn you into an ascended, but for Poppy, she can't be turned into an ascended for some odd reason. And that is because she is half Atlantean, and the point for her to get ascended is for them to use her to make more vampires. Basically, they're just going to use her as a human blood bag, and then she'll probably die because she won't have enough blood in her system. And the very last sentence in the book is, "We are to get married, princess," and that is what Hawke says to Poppy. Princess is what he calls her in this entire series. It's just a thing that he says, but it's kind of weird at first because, he doesn't even know her and he's already calling her princess. Alright. Next, we're going on to A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. So the reason why he wants to marry her is to help Atlantia. Again, like I said, he's also using her for leverage. Hawke also tells Poppy his true identity, and that he is the Dark One, and his real name isn't actually Hawke. His real name is Castile, but his middle name is Hawke, so it's Castile Hawke Denier, and he is the Prince of Atlantia. Also tells her that he did not intend for Victor to get killed, because he did not tell his people to even attack the right. That was all on their own. Hawke also tells her that he did kill the Duke, which I kind of guessed because it just seems like he knew about the lessons. Hawke later in the book decides to change his plans, and he isn't actually going to use her as, I guess you could say, ransom. He is going to marry her to keep her safe. Not for him to get his brother back, but to keep her safe from the Ascension and the Capitol. Poppy also starts building a friendship with a character in here. His name is Kieran. He's a Wolven, and he is bonded to Hawke. The royal crest comes for Poppy in the town that they're staying at. During all the fighting that happens when the royal crest comes for Poppy, one of the guards hits her on top of the head with something and she passes out, and the guard takes her and kidnaps her. And as they are on the carriage going back to the Capitol, the guard finds out that she's half Atlantean and bites her and feeds on her. But luckily, in enough time, Hawke comes in, but Hawke wasn't really needed because she ends up stabbing the guard tons of times and kills him. Hawke is here and saves her. She's brought back to where she was at in the town, and now they all have to leave because they were already going to leave for Atlantia, but now it's just sped up because the Capitol is coming for Poppy. So later in the book, they finally travel to where they need to get, which is Spessa's End, and one morning Hawke wakes up and tries to attack Poppy. The reason why he attacks her is because he hasn't fed in weeks, and like I said, she's half Atlantean, and Hawke describes her blood as like fine wine. So basically, she's like everything any vampire type of person would want. If Hawke doesn't feed anytime soon, he will be taken over by bloodlust, which means that he really won't be himself. And that day, Alistair comes in to check on Poppy to see how she's doing, and he also mentions the joining. And the joining is where you tie a mortal's life to a wolven and an Atlantean's life, which means that they all drink each other's blood. So that means that the mortal's life is now connected to the wolven and the Atlantean, and that means that if one dies, they all die. But that also means that the mortal lives longer than the mortal would have lived before. Okay, so in this book, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, their marriage is fake. They're kind of pretending to be real just to show the people that they're actually getting married, but like I said, it's kind of just used as protection for Poppy and more privileges for Hawke. And by that, I mean for him to get more land, for him to protect his people. But later into the book, Casteel and Poppy want to take their engagement to the next level and make it real instead of pretending, because their feelings are now obviously so obvious for each other and they want it to be known. But Alistair brings up at a dinner that Casteel is promised to another, and that upon his arrival at Atlantia, he was to be married to another person. And since she finds this out, she leaves the dinner and goes back to her room and goes to bed. And after that, they wake up and the sky is on fire. The sky isn't on fire. Something is burning and they don't know what it is, but they find out that towns are burning. And it's because the Ascended and the Ascended are coming for Poppy. And we also find out what happens to Shea. And Shea was the person that Casteel was in love with, and Shea was also Alistair's daughter. What happened with Shea was she came to save Casteel, because Casteel was caught by the Capitol as well and was kidnapped and tortured just like his brother is. And she planned to do the exchange just like Casteel did. In exchange for Casteel, she would give them Malik, which is Casteel's brother. And when he found that out, he lost it and got angry. Mind you, they were also starving him, so he also wasn't himself. He killed the Ascended guard and Shea with his bare hands. No one knows that he killed her, and no one knows that she betrayed Atlantia. The next really big thing that happens is the war happens. This part of the book was so scary, and one of the injured wolven, when Poppy tries to heal him, tells her that the king has a plan for her. And it's not a good plan, I'm assuming, because the way he said it makes it seem like he has a very bad plan. Poppy sees more and more of her nightmare in the end of this book. She sees more and more facts or information that she hasn't seen before. So we don't know if it's actually true or if it's not. And in the dream, she hears a voice talking to her and telling her to stop. And it's a female, and we don't know who this female is, but Casteel thinks it's a god saving her, because she was really close to the end of the cliff, and if she fell, she would have died. And he thinks that one of the gods woke up, saved her so that we shouldn't die. When she arrives at Atlantia, all the people in Atlantia are mad and angry that she is there, and they target her. She isn't near Casteel because he's going to talk to his parents. And as they're trying to kill her, the sky starts raining blood. And what this means is that the gods are crying, which means that they're angry. As this is all happening, Poppy starts getting this weird feeling and her emotions are kind of all over the place. And something happens where she's able to tie all of the emotions from those people to her, and she's able to kill them like that. I don't know how she does this. That's what the whole cliffhanger of the end of the book is that she kills a group of Atlanteans just by using their emotions and cutting off the ties, which means cutting off their life. The queen walks in on all of this as they're dead, and she takes off her crown and sets it on the ground and bows to Poppy. Poppy is now the new queen of Atlantia. The reason why the queen bows down to Poppy and takes off her crown is because she is the descendant from the King of Gods. I don't know what that means. I'm going to read the last sentence for you because I don't know if that's the exact saying that they say. And bow before the last descendant of the most ancient ones, she who carries the blood of the King of the Gods within her. Bow before your new queen. I'm sorry, huh? So that's how the book ends. I'm so excited for A Crown of Gilded Bones. You have no idea. So I'm probably going to pre-order that soon because I can't wait for it to come out. Okay, that is the end of this video. I'm so happy I filmed this because it took 3 days to film. And when I watched over the clip and was editing it, it was just not right. It was just not it, sis. So I refilmed it, and that was today. Also, if you did not join my live, I posted it today so that way you can see it. I will be going live every Sunday at 12 maybe. I might change it to a later time because it was really early for me to wake up. So, that time might change. I have all of my socials down in the link below so you can contact me. Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. On my Instagram, I do post all the time and give you updates of what I'm posting and what's new and what's coming out. So go follow that if you want to go see some sneak peeks, all of that. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notifications, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!